This looks a little different than it ever has, and that's on purpose. This is my home gym. This is where I find peace. This is where I find some solace. This is where I can get a little bit of clarity, move some weight around, blow some aggression off. This is where the man gets built. And I'm not calling myself the man. I'm just saying any man can get built in the gym, or woman, if they just show up and get in there. Why are we in here? Because we told you last week that the pivot we're making is very much towards the idea of body transformation. If your body changes, people will see you differently. Why is that? Because you actually look different. You're starting to become the actual best version of yourself. Inside of fitness, there is no competition in personal fitness. And there is one thing when it comes to your personal fitness that will crush your confidence. And that's what I want to talk about today. That is the game of comparison.
Life is a pitch. It's simply that. It is a pitch, and it is fun. Let's make sure that you're being sold what you want and you're selling what you actually want to sell. I really just love selling. It's the easiest thing on the planet if you believe in yourself. Let's buckle up. By the way, my name's JL. This is Sell Anything.
Comparison crushes confidence. And confidence is something that you're actually in the gym looking to attain. And so if you find yourself comparing to other people and then all of a sudden you lose motivation, there's a reason for that. You're not built to be like anybody else. You're built to be like you. And you're starting completely different than where anybody else is starting. The principles that will get you out of the pit of comparison to the peak of your ideal confidence and self and who you want to be are the same whether you're competing for a Mr. Olympia trophy or you're competing in the CrossFit Games. In the wise words of Theodore Roosevelt, comparison is the thief of joy. It may feel like motivation temporarily because you're inspired by what you see. Let me tell you a tiny secret. What you're actually seeing is somebody's chapter 20, their highlight reel, and you're comparing it to your chapter 2. Not a good idea. There's a whole bunch of messy middle in between where you started and they started that they're not highlighting. What matters is what you actually want, which we've talked about a ton. Let's bust out those old handy-dandy frameworks that we've been building on for the last year. We've got the pit to the peak. What does the pit of comparison actually look like? Mind chatter. What's the point? I'm never going to get there anyways. Oh, dude, they've already got it. Oh, I'll never be like them. We've all been there. We've all seen it. And we've compared ourselves to others and crushed our confidence. And then that fun little thing when our confidence gets crushed comes creeping in. The old shame cycle. You quit doing what you committed to do. You quit following through on what you endeavored to accomplish. And as you do that, your confidence just gets squeezed right out of you. And then the shame gets heavy enough that all of a sudden there's that recommitment and there's that fire of like, oh, I'm going to do it. This time I'm starting Monday, baby. We've all said it. We've all done it. I've done it 100 times. But it starts by scrolling through Instagram and you see something or someone, most of the people you don't even know in person, that has that beautiful little highlight reel going, and all of a sudden you compare it to your reality and you quit. That's where comparison crushes you, because you're comparing to somebody else's highlight and not your reality. The truth is, comparison will always lead you to negative self-talk. Many kids grow up with childhood heroes. One of the heroes I found actually came in my early 20s. His name is John Wooden. Let me give you a little history on this man. John Wooden is one of the first people ever to be inducted into the Hall of Fame as a player and a coach in the wonderful game of basketball. 88 consecutive wins was the record that he still holds to this day inside of the NCAA. Never lost for 88 games. In 12 years, there were 12 national championships played for the NCAA title. John Wooden won 10 of them with his team. Now, when I say John Wooden, he had a team. Not only was he a leader, he cultivated leaders. He cultivated men by teaching them correct principles. And one of the biggest principles that he drove home is they did not obsess about their opponents. He didn't even really watch game film. He did not care. They worked on execution of what they committed to. They had a plan and they executed. It does not matter what somebody else is doing. He did not get caught in the pit of comparison. He got caught in competing with himself, and he taught his team to do the exact same. Here's something that I want to land, and I want you to just put in the back of your mind and maybe at the forefront of your heart. In one of his books, in all of them really, there's a quote that he has coined as the definition of success. Success is peace of mind, which is a direct result of self-satisfaction in knowing you made the effort to become the best of which you were capable. There's a few things that stand out. One is a result. That's what we're in everything for. A direct result in what? Well, it's self-satisfaction in knowing that I made the best effort, which is the other thing that stands out. But the capstone of it all, for me, really, is at the very beginning. Peace of mind. Peace of mind. That's the whole point of this game. Is to go to bed with your conscience clear, knowing you made the best effort of becoming the best that you were capable of. Every single day. You keep stacking days like that, especially inside of fitness, where you're giving 100% effort to what you committed to execute the plan. You're going to wake up 6 months from when you started, undeniably different. Unrecognizable. You'll look in the mirror and be like, holy Hannah. And how do I know this? Because I've walked this path. How do I know this? I've helped a lot of other people walk this path. How do I know this? It's science. It literally is what God has designed your body to do based off of laws that govern the planet. It works every time if you do the work, but it is so hard to do the work if you get caught paying the cost of comparison. The cost of comparison is staying in the pit. Enough of that. Let's get you out of there and start climbing towards that peak. Comparison loses its hold on you when you start to complete the tasks that you set out in front of you. I once heard, your life will work out to the extent that you keep your word. Do what you say you're going to do. Now, there's a caveat to that. If you're doing things that are dumb and aren't actually moving you in the direction you need to go, stop doing that. That's why having a coach, a mentor, someone who has walked the path before you is so vitally important, because they can tell you, they can give you a playbook. This is what you've got to do. If you execute A, B, and C, you're going to get D. Every single time. A, B, and C have to be executed. They have to be completed. And your A and your B and your C are going to look different than everybody else's. Do not slide back down into the pit. Just keep moving forward with the idea that as you complete a task and you know you have made your best effort to be the best that you are capable of, you can lay your head down on the pillow each and every night with peace of mind, knowing you had success. The principles are tried and true. You just got to stick to them. Most people think fitness is about willpower. It's not. It's about identity. Because when you live in comparison, you're not even playing your own game. You're chasing somebody else's scoreboard and wondering why you're exhausted. Comparison tells you you're behind. Completion tells you you're becoming. There is no competition. There never was. The only competition is the version of you that breaks promises. The version of you that says, I'll start tomorrow, and the version of you that quits when it gets quiet. Confidence doesn't come by looking better than somebody else. It comes by doing what you say you're going to do. So today isn't about motivation. It's about alignment. Ask yourself one simple question tonight. Did I make the effort to do my best today? It's a simple question. If yes, that's a big old win. If no, it's just feedback. There's no shame. There's no apology. Adjust and keep moving. Stop competing. Start completing. And before you know it, you will be unrecognizable. Let your confidence be earned, not borrowed. Make it a great day.